Bande Matram. Good morning. Welcome all of you. The supreme will overcome difficulties. Difficulties are always there. It is inherent part of the nature. It is all around you, even inside you and outside you, around you. Wherever you go, there are difficulties. But the problem is that we are always coming with difficulties, but we are yet to find the solution to difficulties. All are coming with their problems, but nobody is coming with the solution. If everybody will be roaming around you and citing the word difficulties, problems, do you feel these difficulties will disappear, perish, or these problems will be solved? In no way. That's what you have to find the way of the solution. I want to get rid of these difficulties. That is what the requirement. And the steer in the course here, very interesting way. Say you can to overcome the difficulties. Difficulties we are made to overcome. Don't think these are all obstacles standing on the way. Hurdles must come, and you have to overcome them. Take difficulties are hurdles. They are also only tests. Without appearing the exams, how will you think that you will get promoted to the next layer, next class? So for that, actually, you have to face the test. And so far, to obtain the spiritual degree, it is nothing that there is nothing like fixed time, fixed duration, fixed age, nothing like this. Suppose by 20 years of age, almost you are sure to get your degree certificate from any recognized university. That is the way. That is the purpose. But the thing is that it is totally different here. It is totally different. To obtain a spiritual degree, you have to appear lots of tests and exams. That lots of is a relative term. You don't know how long. Even before dying, maybe before leaving this material body, you will be facing a test. Don't worry. Don't get harassed. Don't break down. Not required. These are not at all required because you are the pilgrims of the eternal path. You are in pursuing the integral yogic process. Your game is your aim is to become a Superman. Perfection and transformation. They are the track. They are the things with which you are accomplishing your yoga. You are pursuing your sadhana. So why are you breaking down? Difficulties we are made to overcome. They were made. They have not come. They were made. Likely you have seen. These barriers, these resistances, these are all kept before you to overcome. And what is the way to overcome them? The another question. That's what you ask. I am ready to carry out thy will. I am ready to face the difficulties. I want to overcome it. But how? If that is your question, then it is fine. At least you have come to a position to know, to analyze, to get the resolution. If the supreme will is there, if you are running with the supreme will, then you must be sure of overcoming the difficulties, and they will be overcome. If there is no supreme will, then what you have to do? You have got your will, and your will and supreme will must coincide. They must run in a single line, so that these difficulties, whatever you are meeting on the road, they are coming, you will try to overcome them. For that, overcome the difficulties are there. They are made to overcome, and the condition to overcome them is the supreme will. If you are in parallel with or in connection with the supreme will, if you are having the supreme will with you, then naturally with the supreme will, these difficulties will be overcome. So what we have to do? Be faithful. That is what. Be faithful to the divine. Be faithful to the supreme will. Be faithful to the endeavor. That's what. Be faithful, not half-hearted attempt. Okay, I am going. What will happen that way? I don't know. I have to go. I am going. That is not the real criteria, real factor. Be faithful and you will conquer. So what you have to do? Where? I want to be faithful, but to what? That is the another question. Next one. First you have seen that difficulties they are made. They are made to overcome. And with what you want to overcome? With the supreme will. And if the supreme will is there, and you have got the willingness, then they will be definitely overcome. So for that, what I have to do? That is the second question. Be faithful. Be faithful, and you will conquer. Then next question, to whom shall I be faithful? Remain faithful to the light of your soul. You have to be faithful not to any god or goddess in the temple, church, or gurudwar or mosques. Nowhere you have to go. Everything, the solution. Problems you are coming with entirely, wholeheartedly. Every time you are coming with the problem, but I don't know that the solution lies in you. You have to analyze, you have to conquer. Then what I have to do? Remain faithful to the light of your soul, even when it is hidden by clouds. Clouds are well prominent in the sky, you have seen, but it does not indicate that the sun is not there on the above. That the rays are coming, that warmth and the blaze are coming. It is there, well defined, well present. But thing is that not well defined. You can see because of the presence of the cloud. So what you have to do? Remain faithful to the light of your soul, and even when it is hidden by the clouds. Even when the sun, rays, warmth, blaze, heat, everything is behind the clouds. Sun is behind the clouds. You can find the light or blaze or warmth, whatever is there. Nothing you can find. Still then, be faithful. It is there. In the right time it is coming, sun is rising, and right that time it is setting. Its presence is very much prominent. But thing is that we can't see. We can see because there is the presence of clouds. These clouds are actually covering, obstructing, resisting, so that the true light, that the blaze, that warmth, you can't you are not able to receive. That is the problem. So, like this, you can find the light of your soul, and be faithful to the light of your soul, even when it is hidden by clouds. That is what the requirement. Then see in the course, the proper way to deal with the wrong moment. You don't know what is the right moment, what is the wrong moment. Moment is there every time. That is, you can find the moment. But thing is that not the right moment, it is the wrong moment. How shall I deal with the wrong moment? Suppose one fire is there. It is the fire is there to give you light, to give you guidance, to purify you. But you don't have anything to do. Simply you are pushing your hand, your fingers inside the fire. It will simply burn. If you are willing to suffer the consequence, then you put. Like this, some wrong moments are there. Proper to deal with the wrong moments is to look quietly as it. You see, what is as I have already told you, what for this light is there? What for this fire is there? It has to ablaze, it has to give warmth, it has to guide, it has to purify, it has to burn your wrong things, what they are present inside you. It has to burn and purify. It has to give the good direction. It has to bring the right indication of life. That is what the requirement. But thing is that we are going in a wrong direction. Simply what we are doing, this fire we are putting on somebody's house with thatched roof. It is simply burning. That is what. Putting our hands inside that fire. It is burning our hand, our fingers. It is not the fault with this fire, fault with us, because we are following and allowing the wrong moments in us due to our negligence or ignorance or our ego. So, the proper way of dealing with the wrong moment is to look quietly at it. Look quietly, that is the first condition. And put the consciousness right at the point. Put your consciousness right at the point. That is what the requirement. Look, step back, look at it quietly. Second, put the consciousness at the right point. That is what the requirement. Then still in the course. Difficulties can't be overcome by running away from it. It is difficult. I don't want to go. Do you feel that the difficulties will be solved? Your problems will be solved. Disappear. Difficulties will perish. No, no way. So what you have to do? You have to face it. You have to face. You must make up your mind. You have to be trained. You have to go to the battlefield. You have to face the enemies. You have to battle them. You have to defeat them. And finally, you will find that a crown is awaiting you. Simply you are dreaming, daydreaming rather, that I will be the king of this vaster sovereignty, vaster kingdom. How is it possible? Sometimes happens. Sometimes it happens. Even we can get the example of Mr. Narendra Modi, your president. He was selling tea in the platform. Maybe he is blessed since the ages. Is actually sitting on the top post. You have seen this president, Mrs. Murmu, tribal lady. Anyway, she had that capability. So many are there. Maybe beautiful, good looking, having fair and fortunate of a higher degree. But this lady was blessed to become the president of the free India. That's what which is the honor. It does not mean that even if that elephant will come and pour water on us from that, so that we will become the king of a undefined and one big kingdom. It does not mean that. So difficulties can't be overcome by running away from it. You have to face. You have to then you have to face, and you have to overcome the difficulties. Even simply by running away from the difficulties, these difficulties will not go. If you stress difficulties, the difficulties tend to stick or even increase. That you must know what is the solution. For that, actually, it is given. Look quietly, look quietly, persistently, and put the consciousness right at the point. That is what the requirement. If you stress difficulties, yes, difficulties, you decide them word for word, then difficulties are not disappearing. They tend to stick or even increase. It will never leave you. You don't pay any attention, as if you don't know what is there. That's what. Simply you are sitting. There is no work. Simply you are engaged in moving after that one. It is not the required question. It was not the thing. If you stage difficulties will tend to stick or even increase. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes, moves forward a little bit, explains in a very crystal clear manner. No difficulty can be presented to the human mind, which the human mind, if it will, cannot solve. You have, I think, somebody will be there among you who are sitting before me. There will be a question setter. You have to set the question for the exam of a particular batch or particular class. So you must know the syllabus and all. You must know that what is their pros and cons. Likely, within a limit, you have to set the questions. Suppose you have prepared the questions which nobody can attend. Then what is the meaning of preparing the questions? Like this. This is the question setter's attitude, that I will set the question. At least 80% of the questions can be tried by the common average students. Like this, he sets his question. Here also, no difficulty can be presented to the human mind, like that exam and examiner question setter. Here also, no difficulty can be presented to the human mind, who is the human mind, if it wills. Suppose very easy questions, but somebody is there, he is not willing to sit in the exam and he is not interested to write the paper, or even he is not willing to sit for 1 hour. That is a different issue. And if he wills to solve, then it will be very much easier for him to solve. If he can be able to solve, questions are beyond all norms and standards, their capacities, efficiency. Nobody can solve. This type of question is never set in the examiner. Because this examiner also, question setter is also a human being, he is also a teacher, learned person. He knows people are here to appear and they have to pass the exam with a first class. They need some marks. No difficulty can be presented to the human mind. Their students here is a human mind of a difficult of a higher origin. Who is the human mind, if he wills, can't solve. So difficulties are coming. It is within your reach. You can solve it. Try to solve it, and your problems will be over. Thanks a lot.